some would say he's best known as a former lead guitarist for SoulFly. I mean, I was first introduced to Rizzo via Il Nino, currently rocking the Soul Act along with reformed Il Nino. And that's right, I'm here talking with the Marc Rizzo. Now, you've been in the scene since the 90s. How has the music business changed over the years?
Oh man, so much. I mean, when I first came in, there still was record companies and record deals. That was kind of me coming into this industry. That was the thing, was that you wanted to get a record deal, and you wanted that big record company support. Um, and I was very very lucky to get that with El Nino, with Roadrunner Records, and they did an incredible job with getting us out there, getting us on Ozfest, and then going all over the world. So it was a real exciting time, and I'm glad I was able to be part of that at the time. But nowadays, it's a completely different business. I mean, I don't, honestly, when people ask me like what's the route to do, like I don't even know anymore, man. Like just do your own thing, I guess, online, and try to push it the best you can.
So that was going to be my follow-up question: is how do you think that social media has affected the music business? Because obviously, it's had a huge and completely game-changing effect on how people even just consume all of entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways it's great because you can do it all yourself. Um, but in other ways, for like musicians like myself that are really just obsessed with our instrument and love practicing and playing, it's like you got to be like a computer whiz dude now to know how to do a lot of this stuff, and
Mhm.
someone like myself, I'm not that good with all the computer stuff. I didn't have it growing up as a kid in school. So it's like now it's like you can't just be a guitar player anymore. You got to be like a computer programmer. You got to know all these different apps and computer programs, and everybody wants you to record your own music. Everybody wants you to do your own videos. So yeah, it's definitely you got to be more well-rounded, it seems. And if you are, then you can basically do everything yourself. So that's cool, I guess.
Yeah. So with that, what are your thoughts on the current, like the way that guitar virtuosity has come along? You have new cats. So I say new cats. I mean, Tosin Abasi and Animals Leaders have been around for decades now. But what do you think about like Tosin Abasi? And I asked you about Tim Henson the other day. You didn't know who Tim Henson was. We won't tell anybody that. We'll keep that between you and me. But he's the guitar player for Polyphia.
Okay,
Um, and you
I heard
may
that.
not, but yeah. So what are your
Yeah.
thoughts on like the way that these kids are now coming out and just completely killing it?
Oh, they're incredible. Tosin's amazing. Animals Leaders is incredible. I mean, all this new school of playing is just next level, and I think a lot of that is because of the whole YouTube online thing. People sharing information, taking lessons from people. Um, the availability of lessons on YouTube. It's incredible. You could put in any of your favorite guitar players, any of the people you mentioned, and a whole bunch of free lessons pop up on YouTube.
Mm.
Whereas when I was a kid, you had to pay someone to take guitar lessons, and nowadays it's like you can get it for free on YouTube, which is another kind of sad thing. But it has definitely raised the bar of musicianship. So I think it's amazing, man. I mean, all these new players are just incredible, talented musicians.
Now, I would be remiss not to speak with you about your days in Soulfly, seeing as how that was what 18, almost 19 years of your musical career.
Yeah.
How was that? I mean, how did you come into that gig?
Basically, I had left El Nino, and Roadrunner Records, specifically Mike Gitter and Monty Connor over at Roadrunner Records, said, "Hey, man, that Mikey um, had just left Soulfly, and would you be interested?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I mean, I was more of an old school Sepultura fan. Obviously, I never really
Mhm.
liked the first two Soulfly records, or even really Sepultura roots. I was more into the thrash metal thing. Um, but I was like, yeah. And my whole plan was like, I want to get Max back to that thrash metal sound. And I did it. That was definitely my influence on the band, was getting it back, um, to like KSAD and
Mhm.
Arise and Beneath the Remains. And I did that on Dark Ages and every record, from there. That was my influence on the band.
Now, I know that there was been some turmoil with you and Soulfly, namely some of the Cavalera group. Now, you said that it was events during the pandemic that ultimately led to your departure. Um, would you say that was the biggest factor in leaving Soulfly, or was that the factor for leaving Soulfly?
I think that's what broke the camel's back. It was just
Mhm.
the lack of doing the right thing during that time. I talked about it a lot before, but it just the right thing wasn't done, and I was watching other bands, for instance, like Sepultura was doing these live from home videos that I'm sure was generating the band money, and a lot of other my friends' bands were doing that stuff, and SoulFly was doing absolutely nothing, that whole year. So that basically was the writing on the wall for me to be like, man, I don't want to be part of this anymore, among a million other things.
Right. So would this have happened? Would you have left had they done the right thing? Had they, taken care of uh, either you or just the band itself? Because it seemed like there was a very long silence period from Max and the other guys at Soulfly.
I think eventually I would have left. I mean, it's a long time to be in a band where clearly you're part of the sound of the band. Obviously, I brought a lot to that band, and to just continue to keep this charade up that like I was not part of it. Um, Obviously that wasn't going to last forever, and I think I lasted a very long time. It's funny because one of the top A&R guys for the band had told a friend of mine, I don't know how Rizzo lasted, those 18 years. So that
Mhm.
basically was, it felt good to hear that, to hear someone recognize all my hard work, because I definitely put a lot of hard work into it.
Most definitely. I mean, I've seen you a few times. I even spoke to you. I think the last time you came through Dallas, you were at the Gas Monkey. You
Love
actually
that
you
place. Yeah.
you actually made me a hero to my son, so thank you very much, by the way, because he was really into, got you getting to meet you and whatnot.
Awesome.
So yeah, I was his
Nice.
hero for at least tonight. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
You got it. Time, man.
But I did notice at the time that time and the time that I'd seen you before at the Rail Club over here in good old DFW, um, you seem to be a little more not more, but you seem a lot more relaxed now. Like you're able to kind of be yourself a little bit more than you were at that time. Has this departure kind of given you that freedom to let loose and really do the things that Marc Rizzo wants to do?
Um, I think I've always been the same, man. I just think I have more of appreciation, I think, now for the fans, because the fans really, I think, rallied around me and really had my back. And I really appreciate that, because it really was a very, very difficult year. I mean, obviously for everybody
Mhm.
uh, during COVID. So I once things opened up and I got back out there doing shows on my own solo with El Nino, it definitely gave me more of an appreciation um, for the fans, and also for getting back out there and doing gigs, man. And now it's like I just feel so much, you know, just more appreciative to everybody. Now that this whole pandemic's over, because man, it was a nightmare not being able to play concerts. I mean, that's what I love, is getting on stage, rocking out, and then hanging out with everybody and talking music after the show.
Mhm. Let's see here. I don't want to get too much into everything that's going on between you and Max and Gloria and all that stuff, but there has been some accusations thrown around on,
Mhm.
from both sides of the fence, so to speak. I know that your partner, right, has been dealing with some very negative comments and some, I would say, borderline, if not complete, harassment online.
Yeah,
Uh,
I will say, that since I left the band, I started dating a girl during the pandemic, and she's of Guyanese descent. She's a, darker complexion than me, and she's been racially harassed by the family through fake accounts, fake numbers, and it's horrible because she's got nothing to do with this. But they felt to get to me, they would racially harass uh, my girlfriend, which is absolutely horrible to do that.
mhm.
And they will be held accountable for it, though. It's definitely wrong to do that. So
So this definitely happened after your departure.
yes, I basically was stalked online. She was stalked online, and they racially harassed her. It's crazy.
Right. Looking back through the discography of Soulfly from Prophecy until Ritual, you pretty much wrote those albums.
Yeah, I had a lot to do with it. That's the thing, was that I definitely had a lot to do with the writing process. We did it together, you
Mhm.
know, but definitely the credit was not there, and that was always the agreement, was that Max would always get all the credit. I think, I was fine with that in the beginning, but as things went on and I was doing more and more, I definitely was like, this just isn't honest anymore.
Yeah, I'm not the first person to point this out and notice this, but Max doesn't do a whole lot of playing live.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of it. You know, I wasn't digging that. You know, people are buying tickets for this stuff, and you're not putting 100% into the show. It's just not fair. Definitely not fair. And I didn't want nothing to do with that anymore. You know, I love playing guitar. I love practicing. I love putting 100% into my performance. So for him to have that vibe up there and not really care, I wanted nothing to do with that anymore. It just wasn't for me.
Right. So I mean, you seem to be excited about focusing on your solo career, the stuff that you have with
Oh yeah.
El Nino,
Yep.
and then you recently started, was it Revenge Beast?
Yes. Oh yeah.
So where does the future take you? Where do you see Marc Rizzo 5 years from now, 10 years from now? It's kind of a shitty
Um,
question, but I'm kind of curious.
definitely. My solo project has always been very dear to me. Um, I just love acoustic flamenco, fusion. You know, I love that style of music. Stuff like Joe Satriani,
That's
Alvin
something that
Viola.
maybe not a lot of people know you for, is your flamenco infusion and your classical playing. I've always thought you were an accomplished classical guitar player. Is that just something you don't seem to want to feature in your more thrashy hardcore stuff? You want to keep that separate?
I love both. You know, but I definitely try to do more the mixture of that different styles in my solo project because it's definitely geared more towards guitar players. I
Mhm.
keep it instrumental. There's really no vocals in my stuff. Um, and it's geared, towards all the guitar fanatics out there, which I am, and then I go out and I hit the road and I play by myself up there, and it makes it, very accommodating to tour, by myself. But yeah, that's always been something that I'm very passionate about. You know, it's probably like the most underground style of music, which is instrumental guitar for the most part.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely, that's something that's always a priority to me. And then the new El Nino, man, it's a new era of the band. We got Marcos from Shattered Sun, who sings for us, who's incredible. All the new guys are incredible. You know, it's just a whole new vibe to the band. I love the new music. It's a lot more, to me, like more metal than
Mhm.
the older stuff. And so I'm excited for that. And then my new death metal project, Revenge Beast, I'm super excited for because that's very, kind of where I left off with what I was bringing to Soulfly and Cavalier Conspiracy was that more thrash metal, death metal riffing. Um, and I'm going to continue doing that vibe and that sound um, in Revenge Beast, which is just a straight up, old school death metal, thrash metal style of music. So between all these three projects, man, I'm super busy and super excited for the future.
That's awesome. When do you embark on some more touring, or is that what you're doing now?
Right now, I'm home from tour. So we're in the middle of finishing mixing the new Revenge Beast. I'm getting ready to do my new solo record, um, and then I was in Europe with El Nino. We did all the big festivals. It was incredible, man. Getting out there doing Hellfest, Wacken Festival, Bloodstock. I mean, it was just amazing getting up there and rocking out for all the fans. There's been so much excitement over my return to El Nino. So whatever drama with Soulfly, it's like it doesn't even matter anymore, man, because people were like so much more excited to hear that I was coming back to El Nino. And then once people heard the new stuff and the new vocals, the new sound of the band, it's been nothing but excitement. And this past summer, all the festivals that we did were just amazing.
That's awesome. I'd rather focus on where you're going as opposed to where you've been. That being said, I know you're busy. I know you have some things coming up. Any lasting? When is the new Revenge Beast album going to come out?
Yeah, so that's gonna be dropping.
And how many copies are you going to send me that are autographed?
Yeah, I'll send as many as I can, bro. But yeah, we're hoping to get that out. That's coming out on Upstate Records, which is a label that I'm very much a fan of, and we're getting ready to drop that record. Hopefully, in the next couple months here, man. We're just finishing up the mixing, the mastering, and we're trying to make it sound top notch. We're putting everything we got into this record because we know that we have a lot of people um, that are going to be really interested in what we're going to be doing. So hopefully within the next like 3 months, the record will be out, and I'm super stoked for it, man.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Rizzo, thank you so much for sitting down and talking with me. Any last thing you want to say to anybody out there who might be listening?
Yeah, just a big thank you to all the fans, man. You know, everyone's been great this whole year to me. Everything that's been going on, man. All the support from everybody. I super appreciate, you know, all the support and the love, and you know, right back at everybody, man. You know, when I get out on the road, I can't wait to hang and see everyone on tour. And yeah, I got a lot of good music for you guys to check out.
Awesome. We're looking forward to it. Thank you once again. And Rizzo, we will bid you adieu. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, bro. You too, man. We'll be in
Cheers,
touch.
brother.
Peace.